The trend of making Gundam headphones on TikTok was popularized by someone called Mago, and it's something that I've been wanting to try out for a while now. It seems pretty simple. All you do is just grab a pair of old headphones, and then you start gluing little Gundam bits on it until it looks cool. And I was debating on buying like a used Gundam to destroy for this off of like Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji. But I do actually have a Gundam set that I will never build. It's called the HG Gundam Base Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility or something like that. Destroy mode. And that set, you can only buy it from Odaiba in Japan, I'm pretty sure, which is where I got it. But these days, you can get one off Amazon for, I don't know, $120 or something. If you do this, I would still suggest buying a used one and upcycling it, because I'm pretty sure that's what Mago does. And I think that's way better than destroying a new Gundam for no reason. But I've had this Gundam for like years, and I've come to the conclusion that I will just never build it. So yeah. For the headphones themselves, I have these super old yellow headphones. I was going to use these wireless Beats that I got, but they are way too big and bulky for this DIY. I think it just looks better if the headphones are as small and thin as possible, because adding the Gundam bits on top gives it a lot of mass and makes you look like the Reddit logo. So the first thing I did is apply 3 coats of paint or so to the headphones to make them completely black. I just used regular black acrylic from Michaels, which is not ideal, obviously. It makes the surface a bit grimy and rough, and it peels off real easily, but I think it's fine. Definitely would look better if I did research on different paints and whatnot, but I want the focus to be on the Gundam attachments rather than the headphones themselves. Next is the hard part, where you open up all the Gundam parts and start arranging them onto the headphones in a way that you think is cool. The set I'm using comes with a lot of accessories, primarily the big shield and the wings on the back, so I wanted to try to preserve the original Gundam and only use the extra parts. That actually made this so much easier for me, as it severely limited what parts I could use, so it just made sense to use stuff like the big shield parts as the main components for the headphones. And the nuance here is that almost all the pieces I had to alter in some way, like very unprofessionally, I will add, because I was using, I don't know, 3 different rusted box cutters, a nail clipper, the tiniest nail file, and these huge pliers, which, I don't know, handyman you should be using, not me. So I was cutting pieces up, shaving them down, and probably the coolest detail in the entire project is that I decimated the back of the shield to where I could force the blade of the lightsaber inside it, and it sticks out, making it look like flames off a rocket or something, I don't know. Once you've mapped out where you want everything to go, the last step is to just glue it all on. I do have a hot glue gun, which is what I've seen most people use, but I saw a TikTok comment of someone suggesting that a substance called E6000 would probably work better for a project like this. And my god, is this stuff amazing. It's like a more mature and adult version of hot glue, because for one, it's not hot. It just comes in this little bottle, so you don't need a glue gun, and it only costs 10 bucks or so. And with hot glue, it instantly dries, but this stuff stays in liquid form for hours, so whenever I made a mistake placing a piece, I could easily pivot it or place it somewhere else without rushing or thinking I ruined the paint or stuff like that. But when it's dry, the bond is super strong but shockingly flexible too. I've bumped the headphones on the desk or with my hand so many times, and it would just not break. However, if you do severely mess up and want to remove any pieces, you can easily do that too, as it peels right off. The only downside is that it releases poison gas for 72 hours and causes cancer. So pretty good if you ask me. But on a serious note though, if you ever use this, try your best not to touch it like at all. When some got on my fingers, I really debated updating my will then and there. Also, use a mask, because even if you don't fear death, it has a super pungent smell, and your whole workstation will smell like E6000 for days. It takes 72 hours for it to fully cure, but you can start up another gluing session every 4 to 8 hours, which is what I did over the course of a couple days. And the last thing I will say about this miracle substance is that it's just as messy as hot glue. Like, once you take the cap off this thing, call it Ollie London, because it just won't stop coming out. I think it's because air bubbles get trapped in the tube, and so sometimes when you open it, it just explodes. So yeah, all in all, safe for kids. But anyways, here's the finished product. Wow, so cool, yeah. I think it turned out pretty cool, but I also think that my head is far too big for these things. I mean, look at them, I don't know. It looks okay, I guess. I feel like I should angle this down, actually. Like, you can see it kind of goes above, like... but I will say I am glad I chose slim headphones for these things, because I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but even here it looks pretty wide. And if I used the Beats, these things would look like I would look like a football. My one regret is that there's these 2 tail pieces I wanted to put on the headphones. They go on the back of the Gundam here, but they're really not good. They just break really easily, and I couldn't find a way to put them on the headphones and make it look cool. So that's it.